and welcome back to Coffee and Chaos. It's Dad.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Saul, we're good?
We're good. How you doing?
Pretty good. So with it being our last week in October for breast cancer awareness, I'll let you take over.
Okay. So my mom had breast cancer in her right breast, and she just recently found out that she has a mass in her other breast. So she had to go in for a biopsy. So we're praying that everything is going good with that. But if it's not, she's going to give heaven hell.
We will definitely pray. That's for sure. Again, it's our last week in October. Women, check your boobies, check your friends' boobies. You check whatever
Check
girl
your
you have.
friend's boobies.
Hey, you got to check your friends' boobies. You gotta check them.
I know more than you. Let me check.
Well, I know girls that get boob jobs and they have their friends to massage them because, like, let's say they don't have a boyfriend or something. You have to massage your boobs after you get a breast job.
Yep.
So, hey, and check whoever
You definitely
you need
do.
to
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it is.
Start a service.
Well, because there's an object in there, so you literally have to sit there and
when you get a boob job, you have to massage them. So,
Okay.
so if you don't have a boyfriend or husband, then that's where your girlfriend comes. A friend who's a girl.
Well, I got to get an application.
Well, you can have your guy friends do it. They just might get a little excited.
I don't know if they'll be just your friend after that.
Yeah, you'll have like a 2-minute massage.
Apply within
2 minutes
And then
turns
we
into
move
5
on.
minutes.
All right. Well, with that being said, welcome. How are you guys? So
Doing well, thank you.
we
Well,
brought on
thank you.
Felipe. We brought on Suzanne. And we are talking about online dating, the thing I am so highly against. I'm not ending up dead in someone's basement.
Old timer.
God, you're so dramatic.
Well, no. People today film you when you don't know, and you could be doing the dirty and they're filming you and you don't know it. And we know people that have done that.
Yeah.
You could end up dead somewhere. Like, it freaks me out. Like, and there's other things, but
Yeah.
you two have taken the leap of faith and have done it.
Yes.
And would you, if I was to say I was going to go start, would you recommend it, not recommend it, and any tips?
You want to start or you want me to start?
I'll start. I haven't had much luck on the dating sites. I've been on since 2018. I would rather meet somebody the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
That was the last time I dated. Was 11 years ago, and I'm really not for them that much anymore. I get a lot of fake people, so I would say if you can meet somebody the old-fashioned way, I'm more to that because you see the person, you're reading their profile, and it's words on a computer, words on your phone. It's the people that I'm meeting is it's totally opposite of what they say they are.
Yeah.
You know, you are
Fake in what way? Like in what job they're doing?
like,
in
oh
their
my God,
person?
I'm chivalrous. I'm a gentleman. I'm a romantic. And when you go on a meet and greet with them, they're sitting up next to you, rubbing on your leg and trying to get all
Hump you like a
close to you.
dog.
And it's like, where's the respect? You said,
Yeah.
I said somebody with respect. Where's the respect? Where's this and that?
Do they
And
pay, or would you pay on a meet and greet like that? Would it be a guy that pays, or would it be the
She's
girl
like,
that
Half the time I pay.
or is it 50-50? Like, how is that with the when you meet someone?
Well,
online?
for me, like I'm still old school.
Yeah.
So if I ask a woman on a date, I'm going to be paying. I'm going to be
even
opening
if it's
doors.
the online dating thing.
Yeah, even
and
if it's
a
online
meet and
dating.
greet?
Yeah, I don't. That's just the way I am. You know, the way my parents raised me. So
Oh,
you know, I just turned 50 in January.
Yeah.
So I'm maybe the previous generation. So you know, that's what I do.
Okay, so since you said you just turned 50, I have a question because her and I were talking about this on the way here. I have a friend who years back, probably like 3 years ago, we were looking through her online dating app because she does online dating. And so I was looking with her. And a lot of the guys our age will only date girls like under 30, under 35. And I'm like, you're not even giving women your age a chance. You're already cutting them out. Do you do that same thing?
Well,
Wow.
I think you have an answer.
not as a rule, but I do have a window of like, you know, like I said, I'm 50, but you know, I try to stay like 38 to my age, you know, because anything under 38, I feel like I'm not
compatible with.
Yeah. Like we're not on the same page anymore.
Yeah.
You know, I remember not too long ago, I made a joke. I was on a date. Someone maybe a little bit younger. I made a joke about the Fonz. Like who?
Oh.
I'm like, you know who the Fonz is? And I was like, oh man, you know.
You're like, what am I doing here?
Yeah. So I was
Yeah.
like, man, I can't even, you're not going to laugh
Yeah.
at my jokes because
Yeah.
all my jokes are like, 70s,
Yeah,
And I
80s.
think-
older.
From the 1970s, 80s.
You dating a woman at 38, like I couldn't even imagine dating. I'm like going to be 50 next
Yeah.
February. I don't want to date a guy who's 38. Like that just sounds like
Work.
it.
They're
yeah,
close
like,
in
I
age
don't
with
wanna
my
take-
nieces
Yeah.
and nephews.
I don't want to take care of him. Like
Well,
I
They're
don't
in their
wanna,
30s.
I mean, that's my range, but I feel like I've been probably mostly dating women between like 42 and 46, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
So,
that's better. Yeah.
yeah.
That's not too bad.
Yeah.
And do you have a dating age range?
Yes, I do. I just realized it.
Does it go up or down?
You can make it go. You go from the bottom and then from the top. So I will date somebody this young to this old, and so mine. I think I put on mine was like 46 to 56.
Really?
I'm 54. I'm
Yeah.
54. And
I think I forgot that.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
54 years
Okay.
old. So
Yeah.
to me, like I had this 38-year-old message me, but in his profile, he's 52. So that's how he was
What
able to
the-
message me.
Oh.
And he messaged me because I actually got on 2 dating sites. I was on, the first one I was on was Plenty of Fish, and that was 2018. I was kind of forced to get on the dating site. 2 good friends of mine that I adore dearly, I went to go pay my rent, and they kept asking me, are you dating anybody? And I said, no. And I'd been single since 2012, and it was 2018. And they said, you need to go on a date. If you don't put yourself on a dating site, we're going to put you on a dating site. And I was like, you are not
So you did it
putting my
yourself.
pictures and putting whatever you want
Yeah.
on there.
Yeah.
So I went home that night and I was like, they gave me like a week to do it. If you don't put yourself on this site, we're doing it. And I thought,
Oh,
holy-
those are good friends, though.
No.
Yes.
Because then they'd be in control of the thing. No.
Yeah, but they know you the best.
No, nobody knows
And you
me.
and obviously you had no
You know.
luck, right?
So I went on there, and the first time I went on there, I put myself on the dating site, and then like maybe 15 minutes later, I open it up, and I was like looking through, and I'm like, no, going through it, and I was like, oh, forget this, and I went to sleep, and I woke up the next morning, and I'm like, let me go and look, and I had all these messages, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? I mean, there's a lot. And so I'm looking through the profiles, and I go and I'm like, no. And I move it a little to the right, and I was like, it turned green. And then I moved a little to the left, and it turned red. And I went, when
You
I
were
got on
swiping
there,
the wrong way.
I was swiping, I want to meet you, I want to meet you, I want to meet you, I want to meet you. And I went through all kinds. So I'm getting all these messages. And I
No,
was
that's
like,
funny. How do you filter through that now?
what do I do? Oh, I felt so bad. And I'm not going to just, at that time, I was like,
Did you just tell them?
I can't ignore him. Oh my God, I messaged them all back. I'm so sorry. I was doing
I
this.
swiped the wrong
And
way.
I-
You're
Ugly. I don't like you. Goodbye.
And I went
That's
through
funny.
all these messages going, oh, I'm so sorry. I swiped right on accident. I didn't realize what I
I
was
would have just
doing.
deleted them. I wouldn't have said nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's a
I,
Delete,
generation.
delete.
oh, that was when I
You probably
first
ghost people,
started.
too.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
That's the
I've
way
been
to
with
go.
Brian how
Yeah.
long? I don't
No.
ghost anybody anymore.
Oh,
No, not necessarily ghost, but like when you're first matching up with people, nobody wants an explanation. I mean, if they're not
Yeah.
going to match up with you, no one wants to
Yeah.
hear like, oh, the reason why
Exactly.
I swiped
Yeah, yeah,
left on you is
yeah.
because X, Y, Z. It's like, it's better off. Don't even talk about it.
So
Yeah.
out of all the dating sites there are now, like I've heard that Plenty of Fish and Tinder are like sex sites.
All
Yes.
my friends call Plenty of Fish, Plenty of Fucks. And I'm not
Yeah.
joking. They said it's just a hookup site.
well, yeah. Well, when I got on the dating site, I was like, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. And I went down to a phone company and I bought a phone.
Oh.
And my first dating site was Plenty of Fish, so I called it my fish phone. And when we'd message on the site, after a little bit, then I'd give them that number because I'm not giving them my phone number. I'm giving that number because that number, I can change that phone number online every 24 hours.
And that's a problem that us women have to think about where compared to you don't even have to worry about that because you're a guy, right?
I'm-
Wait.
Yeah.
I don't understand that because there's women out there that will sit there and call a man and bug man. Women,
But
are
he's not
exempt
physically
from that.
he's not physically afraid of her coming and stalking him and
Yeah.
Are
You
you?
don't know that.
Are
No,
you?
I'm not
no.
afraid of someone coming to stalk me, and I'm not afraid of someone online, like, asking me for money or whatever, because I'm just not going to do that.
Until they
as
do.
soon as they ask me for money, like,
Yeah.
hey, I need this. I'm like, that's not a real
Yeah.
person. That's a scam.
Yeah.
Somebody from Nigeria. It's like, dude, I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
done with
Okay.
that,
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
Or I just think for women, we have to. That's the thing about me not going on these sites is I'm really like I don't want to have to worry about any of that stuff. I'd rather just find someone the old-fashioned way. And living in Pedro, if I run into somebody and he asks me out, I can call you or call one of our friends and like, who is he? What has he done? How many baby mamas he have? You know what I mean? You get the rundown, so you know what he's like.
Yeah,
when you
but-
meet someone online who you've never met and nobody knows him, you don't know what he's doing and who he is.
That's true.
But still, from somebody else, you don't know who he is. and
Yeah.
what he's doing.
So
because
true.
the way I have a
The way
friend,
they act in the bar that first night could be a total farce.
No,
Yeah.
but in
You don't know.
Pedro, we'll know if he just got divorced
That's
because he beat.
Pedro, though.
That's what I'm saying. If I
Yeah.
go somewhere, in
Okay,
Pedro,
yeah.
I'll know if he just beat his wife and that's why they're divorced, or he has 4 kids and he doesn't claim 2 of them. Like,
Yeah.
you'll know a little bit of their background. Whereas if you meet somebody online and you know absolutely nothing about them, that freaks
It
me
seems
out.
like you haven't had the best look in Pedro, though.
You know what? I'm at the point where
Maybe you need to go out.
No,
of Pedro.
I'm at the point where I'm just going to go to 6th Street and go to Godmother's and be like, hey, what's up? Like,
No,
are
you are
sorry?
not.
Sounds like
No,
you're going to
you
a
are
corner.
not. Find yourself. No, you are not.
I'm just going to marry somebody at least I'm safe with.
I met Brian
No.
on Facebook.
Oh, did you?
Yes. He hit me up on Facebook.
Really?
Yes. And
That-
and we probably never would have crossed paths.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
See,
We would
that
have
is-
never. He lived in Norwalk, grew up in Norwalk, and I grew up in Lakewood.
And so he
And
just
Long
saw a
Beach.
picture of you and was like,
Like, hey, baby.
okay, so with that being said, though, like you're a guy, okay? So you go on these things. I feel like men are more so visual.
Yeah.
If that girl doesn't look just perfect in that picture that you see, you're going to bypass a good one because she has to look a certain way.
It's online dating kind of traps you in that way.
Yeah.
Like I find myself out and about, like I'll be at wherever, and I'll see a woman. I'm like, oh, she's good looking, or you see that because you're seeing someone in 3 dimensions, right? It might be someone like the way she walks or the way she moves. You're looking at her
Yeah.
like, oh man, like I would totally say hello to her, try
Mhm.
to strike up a conversation. But I feel like online, you are a little bit more willing to be like, no, because you're just kind of like it's a real person, but it's like you're
Yeah.
not rejecting somebody, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you find something about their picture and you already got an idea in your head about, well, I see this in the picture now. Nah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna say no.
See?
But if when I've been out, at a lounge or somewhere and I talk to somebody, like not too long ago, I'm kind of, I wouldn't say seen somebody, but at the very beginning of maybe a possible relationship right now, but I met her out. It wasn't online,
Mhm.
And I wonder myself, I'm like, had I seen her profile, would I have swiped right or left? I don't know.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
sometimes 2 dimensions
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
a profile is way different than seeing
Yeah.
someone in real life.
Because you don't get their whole demeanor and
Right.
personality. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I agree with that.
The other side of it too is
Mhm.
some people say like, well, it's kind of better online because now you could weed through what your preferences are, and you could weed through a lot of people, and then you're only seeing the people that you want to see. But at the same time, it's like, well, yeah, you're seeing those people, but now your mind is not open to like I said, when you're out, it's like if this person wasn't certain height or whatever it is, ethnicity, whatever people put in there,
Yeah.
you wouldn't swipe on them online, but when you see them out, like at a bar or wherever you might be, you start talking to them, and when you have like this chemistry, it's like
Some of those things
Yeah.
that
Yeah, it's way different because, like, for me, like my friends tell me, "Oh, you're too picky. That's why you're single. You're too picky." And I'm like, "How can I be too picky if I'm trying to find somebody that I want to spend time with? Because when I with
Mhm.
somebody,
Which
I
is
love
important.
spending time with.
Yeah.
So how can that be picky? But I go through those pictures, and it's like, oh, nobody left. Check again later, and I look, and there has to be some kind of physical attraction.
Exactly.
But my thing
I
is,
agree.
how my head is working with this is if I look at your picture and I can't picture myself kissing you, I'm
Yeah.
not going to waste your time.
No.
Because if I look at a man and I'm like, oh, okay, I can picture myself kissing him, then I might go and read through his profile.
Mhm.
But if I saw a man out And like you all say, you see him talking, you hear his voice. That's a big one for me, their voice.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have a deep voice. So
Yeah.
I don't want somebody with a really high pitched, squealy voice. I'm not going to be able to do it.
Why
and
not?
I'm sure a lot of men are like, damn, girl.
But what if
that voice
what
of
if
yours,
it's what
you know?
he said? Like, what if you bypassed a picture because you thought, oh, I can't kiss him? But what if you would have met that person in real life on a different level somehow, and you
Mhm.
could kiss him? But in a picture, I feel like that picture is so hard to know what you really want.
And most of the time the pictures are old. Like me, I update my pictures and I put the dates on the bottom of it. I'm 54 years old.
You're like, I ain't faking.
I'm 54 years old. I don't really wear that much makeup.
You use filters.
No, I don't like
So
filters.
so they're gonna get an honest.
Oh, girl,
honest
these are
photo
laugh
of you.
crevices. I don't have laugh lines. I got laugh crevices. I got wrinkles on my forehead.
You are beautiful.
I've
Shut
got
up.
different colors
But
going
you're
on in
honest.
here. And this is me.
Yeah.
Because I would hate to go to a meet and greet and a guy look at me and go, wow,
That's not you.
I didn't recognize you.
Yeah. Who
and
are
it's
you?
like, okay, but once you hear me talk, you will find me in a room by just my voice because I'm loud and I'm, and I think I think I scare men. I do. I think I scare men.
By your voice or by something else?
I'm not shy. I'm not shy. I've never been really shy. I will speak my mind. I'm brutally honest, and sometimes that's not good because a lot of people,
Yeah.
People can't handle
wanna get-
honesty.
I hurt me with the truth.
Yeah.
But don't. What is that? Hurt me with the truth, but don't
break me with a lie or
don't-
something like that. Yeah.
something with a lie.
Yeah.
I'd rather you tell me the honest truth. If I'm going out and I'm like, okay, how do I look? And you're like, oh, that looks great. And then I look at pictures and it's like, dude, it's not even flattering. I have friends. I have great friends. Let me tell you. And I'll get ready to go out. And I don't really go out that much. And if I do, it's with a girl thing or a gathering group thing. And I'm always single. But I walk out and I am FaceTiming my friends because it's so hard for me to walk out my front door.
Yeah.
Like I should be a poster child for like Pepto-Bismol. Because I'm guzzling. I drank it 3 times before we left the house, left the house to come here, And so finding clothes is really hard for me.
Yeah.
So when I'm going somewhere, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going on a meet and greet. I'm like messaging my sister. I'm taking pictures of stuff. I can't put clothes together if it killed me.
Yeah.
Like,
So you
no
want someone
way.
to be honest with you, like, what do I
oh
look
my
like? Tell me
God.
the truth.
Yeah. What do you think? And they're, oh my God, it looks great. And then I'm like, wait a minute, but like all this is going on. And like,
Yeah.
so
But
to me,
sometimes
that's
it's
hard.
you got to just be you. Like,
Oh, I'm always me.
trying to
yeah.
dress up for something that you're like. For me personally, I
Mhm.
hate dresses. So if I have to wear a dress,
Yeah.
I am not comfortable. I'm
Me
going to
too.
show up. I will show up in a date. In
I like
some
skirts,
shorts
but
and-
not dresses.
I do wear some skirts, but I'll show up in some shorts or jeans.
Oh,
But I'm honest about
Yeah.
it from day
Yeah.
one.
oh,
Like,
yeah.
I'm not a Barbie over here. So that's what you're
Oh,
looking
yeah.
for?
No. I think I've worn more dresses this year because I lost a little bit of weight. So I was like, I go out with my sister and she's like, let's go here. And I tried on these dresses and I was like, hey, I kind of like myself in
In a
it. And
dress.
that's
Yeah.
rare
Yeah.
for me
That's
to like
rare.
myself
Yeah.
wearing something, dress. I think I've worn dresses more this year than the past like 15.
So
Yeah.
would you wear a dress on a meet and greet?
No, I'm not going to wear a dress on a meet and greet because you're going to think that's what you're getting all the time.
And you're like,
So,
No.
have you guys had any like horror stories with dating? Have you?
You know what? Not really. I think I'm pretty good at,
You haven't had
uh,
any crazy women?
not crazy.
you
No,
haven't
nothing
showed up
crazy.
to a date and what she said that they look way different than their profile picture?
I mean, they have looked a little bit different.
and do you say
you know,
anything?
Nah, I never.
No.
I'm too. I'm like, you know what? I'm here.
That's
I
so
gotta eat,
rude.
you know?
How
what I
is that
mean? Like,
rude?
To me,
That's not rude.
you don't say anything and you just never talk to them again. That's my thing. Like
You
you're already
sent me a
there.
picture from who you were 10 years ago, and now I look
No,
at you and I'm
nobody
like,
said that. Nobody said that. No, I'm talking about like if they do look different than their picture as a
with all
man
the filters on. it.
talking to a woman, and then he's gonna get on that date after asking her out and go, "You don't look like your picture. Get up and leave." Like that's
Well, I didn't say
that
get up
is
and leave.
so
I didn't
freaking
say-
rude.
But I
No,
didn't
okay,
say get
but
up and leave.
You say it's rude to
But
do
it's
that.
rude for them to show up
But
like
let me
that.
tell you.
But that's when you just don't talk to him anymore. You're done.
Yeah,
after that.
but
Be like, "You're fake. I don't like you," and leave. That's what you're thinking in your head. Like,
But you say for them to stay and go, okay, we came here, let's just do our meet and greet and go.
You're wasting my time.
Because let me tell you, if you have the nerve to post something that you do not look like anymore and you show up and I'm the man and I'm going to pay, because I always think from the man's point of view, because I pay a lot for things because I like to. I don't have the same bills that other people have. So it's like, I don't believe a man should have to pay for everything. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't believe a man should have to pay for everything.
Yeah.
And so if I was a man and some woman posted her pictures and I get there and she is not what she was on there, looks, whatever it is. And we sit down and I'm like, I barely even recognize her.
Yeah.
I'm going to look and go, you know
I'm
what?
talking
That's a thing called catfish.
A little
catfish.
A little bit different. I'm not talking about like a 10-year-old photo and you show up and you're 52 and you like, I understand that.
Oh no, yeah,
I understand that.
That's why I was asking Felipe, like, have you shown up to a date?
But if you rolled up to a date and a girl looked different, would you sit down and tell her you look different?
I would.
No, I wouldn't. I mean, I've had a couple that, maybe they use a little filter that had like they looked a little bit older.
Yeah.
It wasn't a big deal because I'm like, hey, I'm kind of the kind of person. I'm like, let me see where this goes.
Yeah.
I still got to eat.
Yeah,
I'm still hungry.
I'm either going to eat alone or I might as well see what someone has to say.
I just wouldn't want to hurt anyone's feelings.
I think the big
it's the name of the game. I feel like sometimes your picture is different and that's okay.
But if you have the balls to show somebody a different picture and know you're going to look different when you show up, that's on you, whatever happens after that.
Okay, well, I had a gentleman that I actually, one of my first meet and greets when I got on the dating site. And I saw his picture and I was like, oh, nice looking man, which was weird for me because I was not attracted to anybody on there. And then I saw this gentleman and I was like, okay, he's a nice looking man.
Yeah.
And he wasn't from around here, messaged him. And I was like, he messaged me because I liked him. He messaged me. It's like, oh, I live over here. And I'm like, I'm not going to travel. There's no way. But then he messaged me later, hey, I'm moving to Long Beach. And I was like, okay. Well, I saw his picture, like some buff and everything. Not like, oh my God, he had a t-shirt on, but he looked like he wasn't like really skinny or anything. And so we did a meet and greet. And I'm so opposite from everybody. You're saying, oh my God, I'm afraid I'm going to get killed. And I'm afraid I'm this and that. And I got up in my car and I drove like by his house. And I was looking at him when he walked up and I was like, wait.
You drove to his house?
It's like, like down the street. We met at like I don't know where even we met, like at probably like seriously like a fast food restaurant parking lot. He's like, oh, meet me down here. Because I didn't want to go to his house. And I'm looking, I'm like, wait, he doesn't look like his picture. Not his face. His face looked like him. But I was like, he was like tall and skinny. And I'm like, I don't want to be bigger than the guy I date. I do not want to be bigger than the guy I date. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm 5'2", and at that time, I think I was like 100 and maybe 35, 40 pounds. And I looked at him, and he's like, "Oh, what's wrong?" And I was like, "Well, you look like your picture, but you kind of don't look like your picture." I'm like, and not to be mean or anything rude or disrespectful, but you kind of look like Buffer. And he was like, "Oh no, it's the way I was holding my phone." And for me not to be mean, I looked at him and I go, oh, I get it. Because sometimes when I hold my phone like that too, my boobs look huge. Yeah. So it was the same effect. His chest
Which is why a lot of women
and
do
I'm
that.
like, and I'm like, okay, I get it. But we still went on their meet and greet.
Yeah.
He jumped in my car. And he jumped in my car.
Oh, hell.
And we went to the mall.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
and
we in a public place.
We were walking in the mall and we actually sat on one of the benches in the mall. And we sat there and we talked I'm not kidding. It was like 5 hours. I'm like, oh my God, I have to go. I was doing a challenge at that time, a weight loss challenge. And I had my last workout and I'm like, I'm going to be late if I don't do this.
And nothing ever happened with that?
We went on maybe 5 we did the meet and greet. And then we went on 5 little, let's see what's going on dates. And they were all like hours. And then it almost turned into something different. And I want to say I told people because when I started this dating site, I was very nervous. I get very anxiety. And I was very nervous that I did what I call dating site updates.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't tell him anything about the date. I wouldn't tell him who the person was, nothing, no pictures, nothing, because I don't believe that should be put on there. And it's just my opinion of this gentleman and my interaction with him. So I wasn't the one he was looking for. And people are like, what do you mean you weren't the one? You're this, you're that. I'm like, that's all they needed to know.
Yeah.
Because if he's not the one I'm looking for,
Yeah.
then I'm sure as heck not the one he's looking for.
Yeah.
So it's just a nicer way to say it. Because I'm not going to sit there and go, oh, he was this or he was that. Because I'm sure in his mind, I was this and I was that. And I was that. But so that didn't work out. And I went on a couple of them, 5, but you know, it never went any further because a lot of them weren't.
Yeah.
I had a lot of text messages that turned out they were using the Google, what did we call
Google
it?
Voice.
Google phone or whatever,
their phone number.
where they can get a phone number in any area code and messaging with them. And then, so I'd give them the phone number, my fish phone, and they wouldn't want to call it. They'd want to get on another app. We were talking about that. They want to get on WhatsApp or hookups. And I'm like, I'm on an app to meet somebody. Why do you want me to go on another app? Call me.
Yeah.
And then,
is that how you weed out? How you said earlier, Felipe, you know how to weed people out? Is that how you?
I mean, I'm not saying I'm an expert at it, but I do kind of have like a feeling, like when I'm looking at a profile, like, you know, like there's keywords that you look at, right? So like sometimes when I see someone that says, I like to travel and I'm a foodie, for me, sometimes that means like, you know what, this person wants me to take them out of town, or they want, or they need, or even if they're being sincere that they just want to travel. I'm thinking like, you know what, I don't have the time to be going to Europe. Like I'm not going to Europe. Like I'm not going.
You have kids.
Yeah, I got kids, so I'm like, I'm not going very far. So I'm not saying they're insincere when they say they want to travel, but you know, about meeting someone, you know, that's more like a soulmate type of thing, or they're just trying to get over. I'm not saying that, but it's like, you know what, I already know that our lifestyles are probably not going to be that compatible. So there's things that I look for like that, you know. And another thing too that we were talking about earlier about if someone's being truthful is, you know, I don't know how this sounds, but they got to have a picture of their body, you know.
Oh, no.
If they just have like
not just from here,
right?
Yeah.
You know,
I know
so
a lot of
like,
people that do that.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating, and it's because like you can kind of judge by people's shoulders, like how big their body is,
right?
And it's like they cut off their shoulders on purpose.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
So that you can't see.
What is she asked earlier and we kind of talked about a little bit, but have you had any horror stories?
I wouldn't say I had any horror stories, but I have had dates with women like, you know, after the fact, you're kind of like, you know what, I think this person just wanted a free meal.
Yeah.
You know?
Wait,
like,
really?
Yeah.
Like
you
they
know,
were just dead inside.
so wait, so you do the
during
whole
the day.
dinner?
yeah, like the,
You do a whole dinner or lunch for meet
you know,
and greet?
I like to eat. I had a friend of mine that was telling me like, dude, you're doing too much. Like you're going like, you know, spending too much money or whatever. And I'm like, look, man, I'm not going out that much. So if I'm going out on Friday night, like, dude, I want a steak. Like I want to eat steak. I like, I want something good. So, I mean, truth be told, truth be told is if I'm spending, you know, let's say on dinner, let's say I'm spending $300 or $400, I'm like, well, like 200, 250 is probably me.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so it's like, I don't mind going on a date. So it's
But
like,
how can you tell that she just wanted a free meal?
well, it's just like the date was like, I mean, I can't tell for sure. You know, it could have been that she just didn't like me. That's totally possible. I mean, however minimal, but you know, but
you're like, I'm awesome.
Not like me.
But yeah, like this particular girl, I went on a date with her, you know, at first, usually someone will give you their number, right? You start talking to them. She was like, no, I don't give my number until after the first date. I'm like, all right, so let's go out on this date. We went out and she showed up to the date, which kind of was a red flag for me. She showed up with a dog, you know, so we're at a night.
Oh, wait, with the what?
A dog.
That is
Did
weird.
she tell you she
like
was
a little,
bringing your dog?
She didn't tell me, no.
And you can only go to a certain place to eat that allows
No, this
dogs.
was Mastro's in Beverly Hills. So
they're bringing their dogs everywhere.
Yeah, they're bringing their dogs everywhere. But anyways,
I've never even been there.
I mean, I love my dog, but I'm not going to bring her on a date.
No.
Yeah.
That's
my baby.
It seems like a distraction.
Yes.
It was kind of a distraction.
An excuse to have to leave.
To be honest with you, you know, because I like we were talking about earlier, like I let her in front of me. We're going to our table. And so I could see people's, you know, their laser eyes as we're walking by. She's walking by with their dog. People are looking at me like, what the fuck? Like, why are you bringing your dog? I'm kind of like,
it's not my dog.
Well, that's why you can't just start telling people, hey, this is the first date. This is like her dog. You know, I don't even know what's going on here. But yeah, she brought the dog and like the way, you know, the conversation went, it was kind of like, then she, you know, like for example, one of the things I remember, it's been a long time, but she asked me if I liked, uh, not escargot. What's the other stuff? The fish eggs.
Oh, caviar?
Caviar. She asked me if I like caviar, and I noticed on her pictures she's on a yacht and different things.
Oh yeah.
So I'm kind of like, no, I don't.
No.
You know.
Yeah.
So
I don't.
after the date,
I'm not buying
kind of
it.
like I knew it was, you know. So I mean, I'm not gonna.
She dates
can't-
people to get nice dinners.
Yeah. So like, I can't say that for sure.
Yeah.
But, you know,
I can.
I
can. Yeah.
You know.
She's asking.
I'm not asking.
Yeah.
I like caviar,
Caviar.
and I'm not asking somebody on a first date,
Right.
do you like caviar?
Right.
Like
So-
that's like a 5th, 6th, 7th date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you go through them and you look at them and all these girls, you know, whatever, is that a huge thing? Like, can you tell by their profile pictures what they want or what they expect and know if that fits your life or not?
Yeah, I mean, I think depending on what they're saying, you know, on the, you know, if someone says that they're a homebody or they like, you know,
Mhm.
they like to go to a Dodger game or whatever, I think they're being sincere. It's like, okay, this is a person that, but if someone says like, dude, I want to go fine dining, I want to go traveling, I go, yeah, those things I like to do, but that's like not a weekly thing.
Yeah.
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 That's
like-
the
Because people have
that's-
jobs and
Yeah.
things going on.
because they'll put that in their whole profile what they like. Like, so what profile pictures do you have? What
Dude.
pictures do you have? You know, as your
Yeah.
profile, what pictures?
What do I
you
have? Man, you know what? I'm a dude, so I'm hardly ever taking pictures of
Yeah.
myself. So it's hard for me to find pictures. Because
Okay,
I
well, we're gonna
usually-
take a picture of you, and you're gonna have that to your profile. Because, like me, I have a picture of me holding this big old fish with its eyes popping out.
Yeah.
Because I like to fish. I might not be good at it, but I love to fish.
Mhm.
So-
You know, I got a picture at an Angels game.
So like when I
Yeah.
do go out now, like if I can remember, I'll try to take a picture with one of my buddies or
Yeah.
a selfie or something. Cause I'm like, okay, I'm out. Like this is what
Yeah.
I do. You know what I mean? Trying to give a background
Yeah.
of like, you know,
exactly.
what I'm about, you know?
Yeah, and just to let you know, don't do it with if you only have a couple pictures of yourself of on your profile, don't do it with a group of guys all the time
Yeah,
and
no.
not say who you are. But
Yeah.
I look at these profiles sometimes and I'm like, see a group of guys, and I'm like, well, I hope he's that one. And then it's like, no, he's not that one. But he doesn't tell you which one he is.
Yeah.
And it's like, do I have to guess?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, which one are you? And he's like, oh, I'm the one to the left. Well, is the one to the right single? You know, because
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I would not do
Yeah.
that. But I mean, if you're putting a picture of a group and that's all you have is group pictures and I have to guess who you are, I'm already going to swipe to
Yeah.
the left.
Yeah.
Now, if it's a group picture, like I won't
Yeah.
do it, but
Put the
Max-
smiley face over other people.
yeah, that's what I do. Like
Yeah.
max 2 people and I'll X out their face. Cause I'm like, dude, they didn't ask
Yeah.
to be.
Oh,
Put
yeah.
on, you know,
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you tell people like right away that you do or do not have kids? That you do or do not want kids in the future? Like,
Yeah, I have, well, I haven't decided on that yet. But as far as having kids, yeah, I put that down. Cause I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to waste any time. If this
No.
person's like not wanting to date someone that has, my girls are young. They're both, 10 and 9. So I'm like, if they don't want someone that has kids that young, I'm like, well, why am I going to waste
Yeah.
the time
Don't
for
even bother.
after the third date? Like, oh, your kids. Oh, well, that doesn't work for me.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'd rather just,
Yeah.
Okay.
be upfront
Yeah,
about
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I weed that out right away because anybody who says I'm 54, that ship has sailed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
In more ways than one. And so if you say, I'd like to have more kids, you're already going because I'm not going to waste my time
Yeah.
because we'll date for a little while and then you'll be like, I want kids. Well, I can't give that to you. So then you're not going to stay.
Yeah.
So I'm not even going to put that on myself.
So
Yeah.
do you guys recommend online dating? Or because you said you're kind of
I mean-
dating somebody and you didn't meet her online.
Right.
You haven't had much success. But then
Mhm.
look at you on Facebook, you
Yeah.
know that. So it's
My thoughts on the matter are, you know what? It's like investments. You got to be diversified a little bit. So it can't hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
I've always been of the opinion that, people say like, oh, you can't meet someone, at a bar, or you can't meet someone here. You can't. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
Good people are everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you can't, if you're closed off to meeting someone like at a bar, or you're closed off to meeting someone
yeah.
at a, I don't go to clubs anymore, but when you're younger, you're going
Yeah.
to clubs,
Yeah.
then you might miss out on somebody really good.
Yeah.
So the way I look at it is like, you know what, if I have like 3 or 4
Mhm.
apps going, but also if I happen to go out with a buddy, I might go that route. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right now I'm kind of, I like, when I meet someone, I like to just concentrate on that person.
Yeah.
That's
you know,
good.
So I'm not,
Absolutely.
because I kind of feel like you could fall in that trap too, because a lot of people do. They meet someone they like online, but then right away they're back online, scrolling through.
Yeah.
But I
you know,
think that's
absolutely.
today's time for sure.
what's the
I
next
think,
best?
I think
you know?
more people are doing
Yeah,
that.
I
than
can't
what
do
you're
that
doing.
either.
Yeah. So like for
Yeah.
me right now, I want to see where this thing goes here. So I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm not really,
Yeah.
trying to meet anyone else,
Yeah.
'Cause to be honest with you, I don't like to be going 3 different, I don't want to be on a date on Friday and then a date on Saturday and then the next,
Yeah.
it's just,
Yeah.
'cause
Can't call her by the wrong name.
Yeah.
well, I would never do
No.
that, but I don't want to tell a story, that I'd like, oh yeah, you told me that already. Or
Yeah.
no, like, what are you talking about? We didn't even talk about that.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
'Cause you're
That
gonna
was-
get, you're gonna get found out. You're gonna
Yeah,
get found out if
yeah.
you're seen several
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
So, but I've never been about that. So I'm like, because I'm actually on there
It's
trying to meet somebody
exhausting,
for
it
a long,
seems like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. But I want to find a long-term relationship. So I'm
Yeah.
not like, I'm not about like whatever
Yeah.
other people are about, numbers or whatever it is.
Mhm.
It's like,
Yeah.
I'm there for quality.
Yeah.
So see
Well,
what
that's
happens.
good.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good. You've made me look at it a little bit differently now. I've had this big old.
What?
I
Yeah,
know.
right?
Someone's
I'm
changed
telling you,
their
I'm just scared I'm gonna end up
mind.
dead in someone's basement
Just
or
don't make
something.
it, and like with me when I went to people's houses or whatever, because I've
Oh,
done
I've
that a
never
couple
done that.
times. I've done it. I'm like, hey,
Mhm.
how people always say, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
Yeah.
So I shared my location with
Oh, it's
my
with friends. Yeah.
Shared my
Yeah.
location with
Yeah.
my friends, and
You're safe.
oh
Yeah.
maybe not safe, but I
Yeah.
mean they know where I am,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
you'll know where to find me.
We're kind of
yeah.
time constricted, but I feel like we got to
Wow.
come back and have a part 2. Like I have so many more
Absolutely.
questions
Yeah.
in my head.
And maybe I'll have a date by then.
Because we didn't even get to touch the thing how I said I feel like lesbians have more success on dating apps because they're so honest and true than straight people do.
Oh my god.
What-
Now, like, here we go.
No, because I think I didn't get the dates because I was too honest. I put my stuff.
Yeah,
out
but you're
there.
honest with the guy.
Yeah.
Girl on
Oh.
girl, like they understand each other. They can read each other better. They're more compatible. I feel like it's
Okay.
so I'm saying we have to have part 2. You guys are gonna have to come
absolutely.
back for sure.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you so much for
Absolutely.
coming.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank
Yeah, it was
you.
fun.
All right, Solomon, we're done.
All
We're
right.
out of here.
See
Thank you.
ya.
Oh wait, hold on. We forgot. Well, I forgot.
You're-
Please watch, like, subscribe on what are we on?
all platforms.
All platforms, but YouTube, Apple Podcasts,
Spotify.
and check out my TikTok. Well, our TikTok for Coffee and Chaos.
Mhm.
Thank you very much. And again, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.